Okay, so we're going to show how to edit a polygon in this demo, and this is going to be the fast way, the fast and easy way to add a polygon to your geodatabase. So in the last video, we made an empty database, and that was called my C Brown JS 161 sample database. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some things in ArcMap, and I'm going to convert them into a layer in my database. Believe me, it's going to be good. So then we're going to click on the data view, because we can't do this if we're in our layout view. I want to make sure nobody tries to do it in our layout view. It just won't work. So in this case, let's outline this building down here. I don't know what it is. So basically, I'm in my data view, and all I need to do is take the drawing toolbar and draw a polygon. You can see I had this little drop down here, and I could pick anything, really. So if I click once on the corner of the building, and then click again on the other corner, and then again on the other corner, and again on the other corner, I could make a little click, 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 bump out for that, what looked like a little bump out. And I could go do a bunch of these. Is that a building there? A second. I could, a typical job for a GIS person is to go on an air photo and digitize. This is called digitizing. Digitize different features. The reason you might want to do that is so you can, the most typical reason is that a city wants to know whether or not people built a swimming pool or a deck or an addition on their house, so they can tax them more. So if every year you do this, you can literally just see what was on the air photo last year, and then you can see who you might want to go check in with to see if they built something new. So I've built two features here. I've drawn them, and they're still both, just freestanding graphics. If you take your little arrow and you draw a box around them, we can do drawing, convert graphics to features.
I'm curious, if we're going to be doing this for here, does the school have access to those stylus? Because that would probably make this a heck of a lot easier to do this kind of work.
I don't know. A mouse would make it pretty easy.
That too. I'm just thinking of stylus, personal preference maybe.
Yeah, I could email someone. I wonder.
I wouldn't do. I'm just curious.
I don't know. We could do it on a tablet. That'd be cool.
Yeah, a couple of those.
So within this graphics to features box, we're just going to make sure we're going to pick basically the defaults, all except for this down here. But you can see it's going to convert the polygon graphics. It's going to convert the selected graphics only. It's going to use this coordinate system, and then it's going to put them where you tell it to put them. So if you click on the little folder button here, and then you tell it a good location, and let's just go to data, and then within that, actually, I'm sorry, we're going to do a personal geodatabase, or a file geodatabase, but it says file or personal geodatabase is the type you need to save it as, and that's important because you won't see your database until you check that. So once you can see it, you can then go into your database, and then you can name it something. New buildings. And then that's it, right? So for the homework, I'm going to go and draw that in graphics and then save it into your database and also make a database. So then you can save that, and you can delete them after the conversion. And And then you'll see if you also add them to your map, you get yes. And now these are your first Geodatabase feature class elements, right? You can see if you go in here, it added in this OID, which in a Geodatabase is called an object ID, not a feature ID anymore. It's just different. The shape field is still there, right? And in this case, it's a polygon. And then in a Geodatabase, it adds these two other things, which are the area and the length for a polygon, just the length for a line, and nothing extra for a point. And that's kind of one of the, I don't really know why, but you can do a lot more with things like that in a Geodatabase. If I was going to actually add the name of the buildings, I would have to start editing this, which is the last part of this. So we've converted it and we've made a layer. Now we want to add the name of the building. To do that, you can right click on your new buildings in your table of contents here. Go to edit, features, start editing, and introduce one of our important toolbars, the editor toolbar. Basically, if you don't have that, you can right click up here, and again, it's the editor toolbar. And you can take the little pointer, which is different than the pointer on the drawing tool because it's for selecting features instead of like graphics, which we've talked a lot about features and graphics, right? We converted from graphics to features here, and earlier we did features to graphics. So if you take that pointer and you click on a building, and you'll see, and if you don't have this create features, trying to think of the easiest way to do this. Let's see. Okay, so there's a couple ways to do this. So once we've done, once we started editing, if we just open the attribute table here, we can begin to edit the data. So the way to tell which one of these buildings we're talking about is if you click on the little space here, it highlights that one. Anybody know what the name of that building is? What? Marshfield?
Marcial, M-A-R-C-I-L.
Yeah.
Marsall?
More or less. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. And then the other one is obviously the other one, but you can see it get highlighted. I mean, if there's more than two, you'd have to flip through all of them. What was it? That one? Anybody? Nothing good? Okay, so then when I am done editing, I just, on the editor toolbar, I save editing, and then I do stop editing. So for homework, and I'll go through that again. I want you to create a Geodatabase, a GDB. And then digitize the building you live in.
I don't live in a building because I'm a senior.
I mean, what structure? Doesn't matter, yeah. Says building slash house slash structure slash tent slash cave, thank you. You live in. So this would mean you would draw using the drawing graphics tool, and then convert graphics to features into your Geodatabase. Then give your building a name. by open the editor toolbar, start editing, edit the name of your building, save your edits, stop editing, and you're good to go. And then send the GDB to me, and that's all I have to send this week. And the way you're going to do that is it's actually zip up your GDB, send GDB to me. So you send it after you zip it up. And we can look at, if we go to our folder, we can look at the geodatabase we just made. The geodatabases look like this. It's a little confusing because they show up with a folder icon, and the only way you can really tell is it's .gdb. So what you have to do is you have to right click on it and zip it up before you send it. So I imagine you're going to have to watch this video again. Send to compressed zip folder. Oh, sorry. If you have it open in ArcMap, you can't do that. So I'm going to close this and save it, and then I can... Oh, maybe not. Interesting. One more shot. Okay, so I just had to close a lot of things, and then it let me zip it up. So that's a good. I'm sure everybody will run into that problem as well. So once you have a .zip file, you can send that to me. So you want to run through that again? Okay. So let's do it all again, and we'll do it quick. That'd be good. I tied it. So the first thing, I'm going to kind of just show this. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn everything off in my ArcMap. And we should be able to do this with an empty map, right? All you need to do is open an ArcMap and add in your some kind of imagery so you can see the buildings you're going to be working with. All right, so we opened ArcMap, we've added the imagery. We're going to go to Arc Catalog, and we're going to go to a good spot, and we're going to make a new geodatabase. The way you do that is I'm going to put it in my data folder. I'm going to right click, I'm going to say new, and I'm going to say file geodatabase. And I'm going to name it C Brown GIS 161 sample DB version 2. Okay, so now I have an empty database. And next I'm going to digitize buildings. Zoom in on some buildings, and I'm going to take my drawing toolbar, and I'm actually going to make sure I'm in data view and not layout view. So data view, and I'm going to take my polygon tool, and I'm going to outline, click, 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 and then get as detailed as you can, click, click, click. I'm not going to do the whole building, just so we can go quickly. Obviously, I'm missing that. So then I'm going to do one, and that's the building I live in. Then, since it's not a feature yet, you can see that because we don't have anything in our table of contents. I'm going to do drawing, convert graphics to features, and I'm going to put it, by clicking on this little button here, into the database I just made. So I would typically have to navigate down to my database, but I know it's that one because it's version 2. I'm going to go into that, and I'm going to name this building in which I live, and I'm going to delete it once I convert it, but it doesn't really matter if I delete it or not. It's just, and then I'm going to add it to my map, because the next step is I want to add the name of the building. So then what I can do is I can right click on it in the table of contents and say edit, start editing. Then I can open the attribute table and I can just type the name in. Place I live. And you'll know if you're editing or not, because if you come in here and you're not editing, it won't let you do that, basically. So then you want to make sure your editing toolbar is on. It is. I just don't know where it is right now, because I want to go save my, oh, it's up here. So I want to go editor, save edits. I want to do editor, stop editing. And now I know my building is saved in my Geodatabase. I know that, you know, my editing worked by label it, for example, and place I live shows up on there, just like a regular old GIS feature. So then I can navigate to that file location I made the database, right? GIS161, the data folder, and I can take that, and remember I have to close everything before I do this. So I think that should be enough to close, but maybe I'll hit refresh or something. And then if I right click on it, or however you guys make zip files, this is the way my computer lets me do it. And then a zip file, and then that's the result. It would be a zipped geodatabase. Oh, so for me, and it might be different for you guys, I right click on it and I say send to. You guys have that? Compressed zipped folder.
Great.
All right, great.